Yeah, so I had a bunch of questions, obviously. Let me start off. A few years ago with VH1, they tried to put Extreme back together, and it didn't work. It was Bands Reunited, I believe, right, the show? What made you decide afterwards to get the band back together? What changed? Because it seemed hopeless when you saw the show.
Yeah, well, the show kind of built this drama, because actually Nuno and I were talking, and Nuno, I think, was working with Perry Fowle at the time.
Right.
And it was just before we actually said we were going to do something. But Nuno summed it up. I thought he summed it up right. He felt like, VH1 TV show trying to put this band together. All the music would be edited, and they'd show a minute of more than words, so it wouldn't be representative of the band. I agreed with him, but they made it look like people weren't getting along, and we were fine. It was only a matter of time for us. Again, like I said, Nuno just thought it wasn't going to be VH1 that would put us together. It was going to be on our timeline.
Okay. And now, was there always talk of getting back together? Was the band just on a hiatus, or had you actually really just broken up and said, we're done and that's it, forget about it?
No, yeah, believe it or not, we were never done, and we always talked. We always knew we were going to get back together and do a record. It was almost not even spoken. This is way before VH1.
Right.
During the different projects, whether it was Pop One or even Drama Gods Later or Tribe of Judah or my solo stuff,
mm-hmm.
I'd be singing Nuno music, he'd send me music. When we were together, we'd write a song or two. It was just a matter of time. If anything, I wanted to get the band back together a little bit before Nuno.
Right.
During the Perry Fowle, when he was working with Perry, I was knocking on his door, not aggravating him, just saying, "Hey man, it's time," and it was just a matter of finishing up that project.
Okay, gotcha. Now let's talk about the new CD and DVD, Take Us Alive. What was the idea behind putting out the live package? Is this just sort of to reintroduce the audience to the vibe that the band had live, or is this sort of here's the culmination, it's a greatest hits package live and we're done? Or is this just another step, or is this the final step?
Yeah, no, this is, it's funny, we had this 13-year hiatus,
mm-hmm.
and we always wanted to put out a live DVD or VH back in the day.
That's where the band really shines.
Yeah, and we're kind of kicking ourselves in the butt here because we never did. So it was obvious once the band got together. We documented the tour, and believe it or not, I think this is the norm now. When we do another record, we'll put a DVD will follow.
Right.
I think back in the day it was every 3 records. Kiss would put out Kiss Alive 1, do another 3 records, Kiss Alive 2,
right.
But it's a different era. There's YouTube, there's bootlegs run amok. The band wants, in order to control the sound and the visual and to represent yourself right, I think it's good to put out a DVD.
Oh, absolutely. I love the fact that bands do that now, and as a fan, I expect it now. It's like, come on, show us something, And it's so much better, more rewarding than catching some iPhone video on YouTube, let me tell you.
Right. And there's a million of them out there, bad sound, and, and bad visuals. And that's it, you see U2, I mean, that's obviously a huge band, and such a production that you've got to capture that, because you'll never do it again. And for us, from now on, we did our Take Us Alive tour. was that tour. Those were those group of songs. The next tour, obviously, going to emphasize the next record. Who knows what songs we'll pull out of the old catalog. So I think it's great. I think it should be a part of the cycle, like you said.
Oh, absolutely. Now, what is the next cycle? Are you working on new material right now?
Yeah, well, you know, Nuno's on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, and we start with ideas apart, and then we come together, and, you know, we put stuff together. Right now, 2010, I don't know if you know this, Nuno is heading out on tour. Yeah. So that doesn't necessarily slow things down, because, you know, we'll write, and I'll go out to LA in between the tour, and we'll start with the beginnings of pre-production. Now, whether we start recording this year, that's the hope for a new record. But I think there's still hope that in between the Rihanna legs, that we're gonna go out and play live. We've been talking about doing maybe a week of shows of the 20th anniversary of Porno Graffiti. So that's something we're talking, and everyone's being gung-ho. It's really a matter of timing, and if Rihanna doesn't take all of Nuno's time. But that would be fun.
Now, would you do the whole album, like an album tour, where you do song 1 to song 10, or just sort of?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. I think we'd go out there and, you know, do a few songs, and then say, okay, you know, and then start the beginning of Second and Stance, and go right through all the songs, and maybe also with some, you know, greatest hits stuff. But to me, that'd be a ball, man. Just do all of Porno Graffiti. We haven't done that in 20 years.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Well, speaking of some of the older hits, you mentioned More Than Words, and for a while on tour, you stopped playing it back in 94, 95, somewhere around there. Now you seem to embrace it again. Was that song sort of overplayed and overdone for you for a while, and you just said, oh, we have to take a break? Because it didn't really represent the sound of Extreme.
You know, looking back, regrettably, I got to say we were probably a bit immature.
Right.
We were burnt. Not that we were burnt out on the song. We were burnt out on the fact that the record company and everyone knew us for that song. We certainly were more than that song. We were a rock band, you know.
Right.
And
but that made you a hot AC act overnight, and then you went, hey, wait a minute, we're more Van Halen than, you know, Pet Shop Boys, right?
Yeah, than you know, Simon and Garfunkel.
Right, exactly.
And so it was like the '94 tour. I think it was Punchline, where we rebelled, and we didn't even do the whole thing. We did it in a medley, and then some nights we didn't do it. And you know, the story that I always tell is we were on tour. We were on tour with Aerosmith. We were in Poland, and we didn't play More Than Words. And there was this big magic marker writing in our dressing room, play the fucking song, and play the fucking song, Steve Tyler, you know. And then, you know, he came in, and he gave us shit. He goes, listen, he goes, when's the next time you're going to be in Poland? We go, we don't know. He goes, well, you know, these people know you because of that song, and you're not gonna play them the song.
Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah, and it really woke us up. And then, you know, I mean, that tour, we were kind of getting burnt out, and so there was lots of stuff going on. I mean, we didn't hate each other; we were just getting burnt out. And now, like you said, we truly embrace it because now you're seeing people that, you know, we're 13 years removed from playing live. When we played Europe and Japan,